Did you know? Oh, Will, this one I'm excited. I'm excited about this one because I get to use a word. I get to kill you with this word. You ever heard of a splinter net? Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Splinter net.
Splinter net.
Internet, splinter net.
Okay.
Go on.
Can I guess what it is?
Yeah, tell us what a splinter net is.
It's kind of like the internet, but kind of like an offshoot of an internet. A little different.
Go on.
I'm thinking privacy is involved. Okay, whatever. Give up.
Okay, so apparently Russia is about to disconnect from the internet. How wild is that? They're going private. A splinter net is a term used to reference this type of behavior in which the external internet connections are closed in order to create a splintered version of the internet.
Right.
Splinternet.
Right.
And of course, the famous one is the Chinese firewall that exists. This one, apparently, the speculation here, cool article, by the way, PC Mag. The speculation here is that it's not going to be as severe as the Great Firewall, but it's going to be in the same kind of target zone. The pitch is, hey, we're doing this to avoid being the target of cyber attacks. We're doing this to protect the domestic internet. Why are you making that face, Will?
I was right.
Why are you making that face, Will?
I'm just saying. I was right.
Security?
Yeah, privacy.
Privacy?
Yeah. An offshoot of the internet.
I don't know if it's privacy. I don't know if they're saying privacy, though. Because
Well,
they're going to know everything. Well, maybe.
From other countries.
From other countries. Privacy from other countries. They use the word sovereignty.
Yes.
You ever used that word before, Will?
No.
No. That's a big...
It's too political.
It's a hugely political word.
Yeah.
Sovereignty. It is an interesting discussion. Nonetheless, the idea of nations having their political sovereignty, but not so much from an internet or an informational perspective. Information flows. Well, certainly if you're used to the North American internet, information flows rapidly across those political boundaries. There is very little internet sovereignty. Right. Of course, China being the exception to that. Russia seemingly wanting to go down that path. The details are kind of wild. The way this might work, for example, is if a citizen hopes to visit Facebook, they might be redirected to a Russian social network instead, like VK. Now, I believe this stuff might happen in China as well. Every time when I went to China, I'm using a VPN.
Yes.
Or in the hotel we're staying in, it's opened up because there's so many foreigners in the hotel. So I never experienced the firewall version of the internet while in China.
Yes.
People can inform us. Of course, we have Chinese viewers. I guess they watch through this show through a VPN, so they can tell us how that all works. If they try to go to YouTube via the firewall, the Great Firewall, what happens? Where do you go?
End up with Chinese government website.
Oh, maybe. You know? Or if they were smart, they just send you to another video service.
Yeah.
Similar to what this suggestion is here. So anyhow, the initial proposition of the idea is informational internet sovereignty from other countries, the ability to protect your nation from a cyber attack from an outside force, the ability to shut down the internet in the event that there's some national security risk. You hit the off switch on the internet. That's not too easy to do, by the way. So an interesting development. And apparently Russia has reportedly spent about $300 million on its sovereign internet plan. And apparently it's been moving in that direction. The country has restricted certain access to services in recent years, like VPNs and encrypted messages. But it does make things difficult from a business perspective. And I know you're a big business guy, Will, because now many of the services and communication that might be required for a free-flowing trade scenario, I guess, once again, China might be the exception here, but there are certain benefits to having that free flow from a business perspective. All of a sudden now you can open things up, whereas if you shut down that border in that sense, you may limit the international economic connectivity.
Mm-hmm.
You put the wall up.
Yes.
It's possible. So anyhow, they're going offline to a certain extent. They're going to have their own domestic internet, similar to what China has, but a little bit different. Interesting read, far more comprehensive than this overview if you want to check it out yourself. But you at least learned what splinternet means, and you can thank Willie Doo for that.